Well, finally, I was starting to think that I, was cursed or something because it was, third game and we're getting slapped around by the Pacers, and I'm like, oh my God, is it me? Seventh Bond from Nets Republic. I'm finally here to talk about a win. Thank God. Let's talk about the win. So the first 3 quarters, they were getting slapped around, and it was looking like they were still refusing to take games seriously. But then, everybody just starts going off, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that could be the end of the video, honestly. So thanks for watching. Hope you had a good time. Subscribe to Nets Republic, and see y'all later. No. We gotta talk about Kyrie. We obviously have to talk about Kyrie here. That man, I mean, like he never left is not just a cliche, but it's like an understatement. When he started to get in his literal Birkin, it was just like, oh my God, in half. Like when he started getting in his guest bag, I was like, oh my God, in the half. When he started getting in his Michael Kors, I was like, oh my God, in the half. That man was going off in the fourth quarter. We're talking about he was pulling out the swipe across the body type move, and it's like it makes the defender go, oh my God, not my face. And it's like that brief moment of being open. He's just putting that joint right in and finishing on any side. I mean, I don't know how many of y'all play, and this might be ableist of me for assuming that you all play basketball, but the difficulty of finishing around the rim contested is difficult enough already. Let's add on there that this man is finishing over here on the left, over here on the right. He'll finish up front after doing some kind of Iverson hocus pocus move with the ball to get open off of a Euro step that could be any direction, and he's still finishing. And it's not as simple as, left hand here, right hand there. This man is finishing with his right on the left corkscrew. This man will be like this off the floater the stuff he does is insane. How he'll not quite get past someone, so he'll cradle the ball, wait until the defender starts to just naturally fall back a little bit, then bring the ball back up with his left hand, and the man is right-handed, or do the exact same thing while the man is predicting a swipe down on the left. He'll come back up with the right, and this is the first game of the season for this man, and he's pulling out moves like that. Kyrie Irving's ability to finish, I don't know if it's talked about enough. Yes, his clutchness is crazy. Yes, he looks cool with his headband and his Jason Kidd sweatband or whatever. Yes, that stuff is really cool. Does he have the afro or not? Yes, there are several things about Kyrie that's really cool. But I don't think his finishing is harped on enough. That's so difficult, the shots he makes. And he's 6'2". It was a pleasure to watch. I'll be quite honest with you. Now, my annoyance on the beginning of the game, I'm trying to play that down just a little bit because trust me, this could be a 30-minute video on Steve Nash. That man, oh God, that man, Steve Nash. I understand, we didn't get a chance to talk about this, but I understand that LaMarcus Aldridge is having some lasting impacts from catching the Rudy Gobert shuffle, if you will. I totally understand that. You don't want to let him start again. He was starting to look a little winded. He was looking a little Avatar Aang, winded a little bit. Totally understand that. You want to let that man come off the bench and let Claxton start. Why not? We've only got 2 centers, not including Daron Sharp, but he don't play the kids. So that's perfectly fine. But to have just the gall, the audacity, not the awe, the audacity to be like, you know what, this is still plug and play. I'm still tinkering with the lineups, with his Lincoln logs, with his Jenga, because that's how he sees the season. It's just one beaker test tube experiment after the next for this man. This man starts Duke Jr. So we're talking, you start James Harden, Kyrie, his first game back on a minutes restriction, his first game back. You start that man. I don't forgot that man's name. Kevin Durant at 3, then Duke Jr. at 4. like, sure, positionless basketball, but let's just really break it. We'll get back to Kyrie in a second. Let's just really break this down for a quick second. We're going to be like, hey, Shimona. We're going to really break this down here for a second. That's old school, serve the ball. I wish y'all know about that, but that's not even that. That's like circuit, like, 17, serve the ball. That's not even there. We're going to break this drive down for a quick second. So maybe a lot of people don't remember last season. I'll give you a quick refresher course of the 2021 season real quick. What made the big three so unstoppable and the system around it, because Steve Nash doesn't draw plays and they didn't play defense last year, this was literally like all of last year's games when all three of them played. You've got Harden, Kyrie, Durant. Those three form like a Bermuda Triangle effect to where defenses just have no chance. Follow me here. Literally follow me. Subscribe to the channel and subscribe to Nets Republic on Twitter, but that's not here there. But follow me here metaphorically. When you've got James Harden initiating the offense, he's going to immediately get a double team. That's 2 of the opponent's 5 that's been taken out of the equation. Harden is going to pass it to either Kevin Durant or Kyrie, right? The next 2 will immediately, not the same 2 because they're still with Harden. So a new additional 2 players from the other team will double this second net of the big 3. We'll say KD, right? KD will make that third pass over to an open Kyrie. There's only 5 people on the other team, and 4 of them are trapping 2 stars. That leaves one individual who's normally in the paint. Normally they're in the paint. To think about, okay, do I run out to stop Kyrie, or do I look at who's cutting over here? Now that person can be Bruce Brown. That could be DeAndre Bembry this year. That could be Jeff Green from last year or something like that. Your Blake Griffin, maybe. If it's Joe Harris, he's the ultimate cheat code, and that's why he's so important when he's hitting a shot. Because Kyrie can not only make that next pass over to an open shooter, and they're going to try to cover Kyrie or Kevin Durant over Joe Harris 90% of the time, just based on 2K ratings at this point. So you make that 4th pass, that is an open 3 for Joe Harris, or he cuts in because you know he can do both. But tonight, it was David Duke Jr. So let's run that scenario back. Harden gets the ball, first trap, 2 defenders out. Passes it over to KD. Second trap, 2 more defenders out. They are down 4 players. Pass it over to Kyrie. Kyrie is thinking to himself, right here or somewhere roaming, I've got Duke Jr., who cannot shoot. And he's literally just standing on the other side of the 3-point arc like this. So Kyrie has to think, do I risk giving him the ball and him not knowing what to do and trying to do some type of pass back? Or do I just take the open shot or run in for some type of fancy move or kick out to someone else? And the time he has to process what he's going to do instead of an automatic, unspoken chemistry, whatever you want to call it, just natural play. Because again, this is not a Steve Nash play. This is just what the players do. And the time he's having to make that decision, the defender's already made his decision. This man has either run out or one of the other 4 players along the 3-point arc have already collapsed on him. It took Steve Nash until the 4th quarter to realize this and remember how his own players like to play. It took him till the 4th quarter to put DeAndre Bembry in there. And since we're already having a Steve Nash conversation, let's jump in. And they won the game, so that's great. A dub is a dub. But before we go back to Kyrie, since we're here, let's just keep going on Nash for a second. You know what? I won't. I'll leave Steve Nash alone. I'll leave him alone. That's my only criticism. Shout out to Steve Nash. Great win. I have to move to someone else, though. It's going to sound like I'm talking trash with Steve Nash. I swear I'm talking about someone else now. The ending lineup was some kind of death rollout of Kyrie, Kevin Durant, James Harden, DeAndre Bembry, and Patty Mills. Let me run that back. Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden, DeAndre Bembry, and Patty Mills. Any red flags there? I'll jump in. Tag me in. Why is Patty Mills out there? Why is Patty Mills out there with starters? Well, the answer, my friend, is because James Harden, for some reason tonight, made a decision on a back-to-back performance that he's just not going to score. So Patty Mills is out there because Kyrie didn't get in his Michael Kors until the very tail end second half of the fourth quarter. It was basically KD out there carrying because Harden was just being Alfred Payton. You know, he just wants to pass and give you the occasional layup or throw the ball against the back of the backboard in a three-point attempt. This man just refuses to score for some reason. So because Kyrie was off to a slow start, he made up for it, but because he was off to a slow start, and it was basically just KD out there by himself, they had to put Patty Mills in the lineup for more offense. Is that not beyond laughable? You needed more offense. You had Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin, and you needed more offense. So they put Patty out there to hit a clutch three, one of his only baskets of the whole game, because you needed more scoring. Because this man Harden is refusing to score. But, you know, thank God Kyrie went off. Because I was feeling bad for Kevin. They was fouling him pretty hard. They didn't even care. They just smacking him around. But everybody fouls KD for some reason. And the refs don't seem to care. I have no idea what's going on with that. But Kyrie just started going off. He started hitting his middies. He started doing all that cool layup stuff I was telling you about in the beginning of the video. And they basically went back to the a dub is a dub format of the 2020-2021 season that we talked about in my first video here. They just outscored the opponent, and it was too much. There was not a lick of defense being played tonight. There was a couple of moments of hustle, no Rick Ross. But that's about it. I was going to make a Ace Hood joke, but Bembry got rid of his locks, and now they're just the cornrows. But yeah, it was just moments of hustle. And honestly, Kevin Durant and Kyrie getting whatever they want will demoralize you if you're the other team. So it's not even like a situation of they just got locked up. They just lost all hope. You can't stop them. And then when Harden got in the paint with his occasional and one layup and missed a foul shot, I mean that stuff is overwhelming. And I'm a personal believer of if all three of them are out there, you can't beat us. It's just like you're gonna need a Jason Tatum 50-point performance to beat them. They just don't, or you're the Cavs. You just can't beat them. So it was a situation of they just outscored them. Your final score was like 115 to like 120 something. Reminds me of last year. Just no defense being played. We just outscore them. But a dub is a dub. A dub is a dub, and we'll take a victory after three back-to-back losses. We will take the victory. Thank you very much. That was too good. We'll take it. I'm fine with that. I am perfectly fine with that. And if we are going to a dub is a dub our way to a championship, then so be it. So be it. Long as injuries don't get in the way, we'll be just fine. There's just one thing I want to point out that I'm a tad bit concerned about. I didn't like the way Kyrie, after the game, proceeded to give high fives to everyone in Indiana. But I'm sure he'll be fine. But if something comes out, we know what happened. But that's neither here nor there. Our next game is against the Bucks. I'm kind of happy Kyrie won't be there, so Giannis can't accidentally get under him. So maybe it's nice Kyrie won't be there because we don't want another accident. We don't want another accident. But that's not here there. Kyrie's next game will allegedly be, I believe, Monday against the Trailblazers, so that'll be fun. Smack them around in Portland a little bit. But let me know your thoughts on the game down below. Sever the Bond from Nets Republic. Remember to follow us on Twitter and follow us here on YouTube. Let me know your thoughts on the game down below. And did any of y'all's predictions for how much he would score make it? Because he got to 22. I think that's a little bit under what we all thought, but let me know if any of you guessed 22. And I will see y'all next video. Yeah.